Hello, my name is Colby Hours, and today I'm giving you a presentation about child development inside of the classroom. Now, first, I want to give you some background on why I chose this topic. I believe that child development is the most fundamental thing that they can experience throughout their lives. Development is completely and most utterly necessary in a world that is constantly changing, and being able to build yourself from the ground up is the most important thing you can do and that you must do. And it's very important to do this inside of the classroom. I also find this interesting as an aspiring teacher that gets to observe many students throughout my career, and I want to be able to see some things and know some general background information about some forms of students that they may be going through things, and I want to realize the problems, their strengths, and help them and guide them to being better people. Again, as an aspiring educator, I think one of the most important things that I realized as a student was that some teachers, they don't understand the kids these days. They don't know what they go through because they lived such a self-centered life, and they weren't able to experience many different perspectives. As an educator, I want to be able to realize any minute possible detail that a child could be going through. I want to help understand them. I want to be around their environment just so there can be comfortability in the sense that I am a caring person that is willing to teach any child and help them. Now, the question that I asked myself throughout this process of first finding my topic and diving into it was, what are the driving factors of a child's development in school? What I found is that there are at least 6 different ways that they are affected through peer interactions, teaching methods, classroom environment, family culture, school culture, and socioeconomic standards. First, I want to dive into peer interactions. I believe that there are 2 different forms of peer interactions that affect a child's development. First is the good. I believe that children can gather many positive experiences with peers, and they can learn how to properly interact with other people. This is showing respect, saying please and thank you, being able to expand their creative minds and talk about what movies they want to go see or what their favorite pet is. I believe that all of those positive interactions build to becoming a good person. Now, on the flip side, I believe that there are bad interactions throughout school and that carry on through life. These are super impactful and they always hurt both sides. I believe that bullying is detrimental and it can lead to negative feelings about oneself that can carry on for a long time. Now, this is both from the bully and the person that is getting bullied. There's always 2 sides to the story, and both are suffering from this. I believe that the act of bullying, it needs to be stopped, obviously. But um, in the sense of this slideshow, it totally affects a child's development. It can lead to insecurities, it can lead to trust issues, sort of things like that. The next factor that I would like to discuss is teaching methods. For my research, I found 3 theories that impact a student and their growth to becoming a better student. First is classical. This is where a child learns to associate a cause and effect. Also, an example, if you raise your hand for the bathroom signal, you'll get that. If you say, "May I please do this?" the teacher will say, "Yes, you may." A simple call and response, an action, a request, and then it is granted. The second is operant. This is where rewards and consequences are offered based on actions. Good behavior is rewarded and is likely to happen again. Bad behavior is punishable and obviously shouldn't happen again. Now, these things are more apparent in younger audiences of children in school, but they're always there. Even in high school, you get detention. Throughout the schooling process, this is an important factor for a child's development to learn the rights and wrongs and the morals of reality in the world. Third topic is observational. And this is when behaviors of children are often copied, both positive and negative, from what they see online or in person. As a child, you're learning every single second of the day, and you really don't have a sense of your own identity yet. So building off of others is the just the thing to do. Like when you watch a movie and you immediately feel like you are the superhero or the main actor. That's how these kids are feeling. If they see somebody do something that they like, they're probably going to do that, whether it's good or bad. I believe that the teaching of the students, actually, is very important student to student. They learn from each other, either positively or negatively, but it's very impactful. As long as the teacher, too. If the teacher is being respectful and he's caring to the students, they are more likely to reimburse that with other people. The next topic I want to talk about is the physical classroom environment. Is your classroom set up for success? The physical space of a classroom is limited, and driving factors affect how children behaves and how they learn in the classroom. Now, if your space is organized and it properly stimulates the child for a balance of play and work time, they will probably be able to stimulate themselves and to take a break and relax their mind, which are both helpful for real world scenarios where either you need to get your work done or you know that you need a brain break. Both of these both of these build structure in a child's life, and it offers them a new perspective maybe they haven't learned yet outside of school that helps them build initiative. Now, on the flip side, a disorganized space leads to a bad example for students, and is reflected by their effort and attention span. A busy space is usually not one that you pay attention to. If my room is cleaned, then there are other things that are going on in my mind. Everything is racing. It needs to be cleaned at all times, really. And the same thing goes in the classroom where 99% of your learning happens. It's pivotal. It's pivotal that everything is clean and everything is tidy. Now, my next topic is family culture. I believe that there are many, many issues and good things about a family. It really just depends on student to student. Four topics that I wanted to talk about in this section are positive interactions, where the family teaches the child how to be respectful and to communicate with others, and toxic home life, where harsh conditions directly affect the child's performance in the classroom. Most bad days are because of things that happen at home, and these bad days are shown through anger or not wanting to do work, putting their head down, just looking sad. Cultural teachings as well, they value characteristics differently. One child could be taught to act selfless while the other is selfish. They're taught a lot of things at home, and they're always reciprocated in the classroom. They're always showed. And also, I want to say that the lack of presence of a parent in a family's in a child's life is so important. It's so important, and it impacts the student 100%. The child's dependence on the teacher definitely increases when there is an absence of a mother or a father. And it's really sad because I've seen this as an observant of a classroom, and I can immediately tell how a child's life is impacted when I hear about this. That the days that they have, they don't feel as attached to other people because of their relationships and just the family relationships that are built, they immediately reveal themselves in the classroom, no matter the age. Now, I think school culture is also an important thing to recognize in the development of a child. Culture is very important to every person. Everybody has something to celebrate about themselves and how their people before them were able to live as their own independent, unique civilizations. The inclusivity of all students in a school is critical for implementing a positive and welcoming environment for all students to thrive in. A classroom that recognizes many cultures helps open the honest minds of children that leads to a community that respects and builds off each other. A classroom that doesn't represent other cultures gives value to some students and hurts others that aren't represented. This leads to a decrease in attention and comfortability in a school. Um, I went to a high school that was able to represent many different cultures through assemblies, through even the start of the day when they recognize the land that they're on. Every single culture is represented, everybody felt respected, and it led to an overall warm feeling that was given from the school. Everybody cared about each other. And I think that's just critical as somebody that's developing in the early stages of their life to know that their culture is respected and is represented. The last section I want to talk about is socioeconomic status. Now, it's just the low, the middle, and the high classes of our civilization. Obviously, everybody has their own problems, but seen through this stage of different experiences, it is apparent through studies that show that people with low socioeconomic status are being hurt compared to people with high socioeconomic status. In this slideshow, I just gave a very brief example of two different lives that some kids may be going through and that I have seen personally. Now, a low socioeconomic status student could start their day off with no food. And through this and other problems, it's manifested with a difficulty of learning because the school lacks the resources to properly assist the student. This is through programs, through correct teachings, through the meals that they're given, through outside clubs, maybe they don't have recess. And through all of these setbacks and through the years of schooling, it's just the disinterest that builds up as a snowball effect immediately impacts their decision to want to either pursue school or even be a part of it. A lot of people from a low socioeconomic status, they do drop out. And it just continues to spiral down to where these low socioeconomic status families continue to struggle in their communities and they don't get the opportunity to build themselves up into a higher status of economic ability. Now, a high socioeconomic status student doesn't need to worry about where they get their next meal from. They get to attend a school that'll reach all of their needs and they will always be happy with the conditions they're in. They're they're more successful in school and they're carried through their privileges and they continue to be well off in a family and money that just completely supports them. Now, all of these things, I believe, critically impact students. I believe that no one is greater than the other, no reason, and that all of them are seen through different aspects and different perspectives of each student. Everybody has different problems, and I think this is just a small glimpse into realizing that everybody has problems. Every student has something that they're going through every single day, and being able to accept the humility that maybe you didn't get to go through these things, but you still need to understand what is happening with your students. I want to thank you for taking the time to listen to this. Um, I want to thank my professor for giving me the opportunity to talk about these problems that happen currently, that have happened in the past, and they probably will happen for a long time. You know, I I want to do my best as a teacher to help understand what goes on through students' lives. And I want to be the best role model that I can be for these people and to help them realize that they can overcome problems and that they can become better people no matter what situation they're a part of. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day.